Welcome back to So Anyway It's Haunted. My name is Ashley. Joining me are Chris.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Sorry, Chris and I are sharing a mic. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. Also joining me is Chris.
The Izzy one.
Also joining me is Cody. Wait, do we not say your first name?
I prefer just to go by the code name.
Okay.
Big Chungus.
Oh my lord.
He's Crody McCrackenelli.
Oh, there it is. There's the
There
vibe.
it is.
So Izzy finally came down off his mountain to visit us again today.
You say that like it's a good thing, but I've been doing nothing but night shifts.
Yeah.
And it's hard coming back to the daylight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
Working in the truck mines.
Yeah.
You finally see the light of day.
Oh, the crude oil never stops.
Yeah, pipe lung.
The oil field never sleeps. There's no Christmas in the oil field. Only more oil.
Yeah, so we're happy you're here.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to be here.
Thanks for the... I totally forgot to even say this when we were just hanging out, but thank you for the housewarming gift. It was awesome.
Yeah.
We haven't framed anything yet because we're all broke, but
it looks super awesome, especially the Skinwalker one.
I think it was with the Skinwalker, the Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Was Jersey Devil on there?
Yeah. Well, that's what it looked like.
I don't...
Well, I know there's the
I know
Mothman.
one of them's Mothman, definitely, and I'm super happy about that one.
And Bigfoot, and I don't remember what the fourth one was.
I think, isn't it just a werewolf?
I don't remember. I went with the werewolf one and
Yeah.
not the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Jersey Devil, last week you guys were talking about something with bat wings creeping on somebody's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Jersey Devil.
I love
Just
the Jersey Devil.
Just to confirm that, I made a guesstimation and Izzy backed it up, so.
Yeah.
That pretty much confirms it.
We're all happy.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time watching cryptid shows.
Is that the dang Jersey Devil?
do you still get the crypto box? The subscription?
No,
Wait, have you ever gotten the crypto box?
I've never gotten the crypto box.
Oh, dang. I thought you had.
I get the loot box.
Yeah.
That I occasionally get socks that are incredibly way too small.
That you try to give to me.
Well, because
it's Kill Bill.
You have smaller feet than I do, so I figured you could wear
They were
them.
too small for even me, dude. I don't know who those socks were made for.
I don't know either, because it doesn't give you an option for like, how big the socks are.
They're like an infant socks.
Yeah, it's like you can put in your shirt size, but like that's it. I don't know whose feet those are for. who this tiny Kill Bill
The
fan
guy that
is.
runs the company has baby feet. He just assumes that everyone else.
He practices feet binding.
After making these humorous jokes at his expense, if you would like to be our sponsor, we would love to sell the crypto box.
Yes, Loot Crate, please,
my
please
gosh.
sponsor us.
That would be amazing if we've got like subscription boxes that. I was gonna say that isn't. What's the one?
That isn't like relevant to what we do.
No, what's the one? Nature Box.
I'm
I'm gonna say something cooler than Nature Box,
something.
but Nature Box. I love nature. I love nature. I love boxes. I love granola. That's probably a coconut flavored that I'll hate, but hey, man, we're down to sell. We're down.
I like your idea. I want to go with the one that's just like the theme is penguins but it's like a different type of penguin each time. It's like, oh, this is the Emperor box.
Yep. Yeah.
Nothing related to haunted stuff whatsoever.
Scary Pengu.
But we give our penguin review every week.
Absolutely. I'm like, okay, this is a fresh unboxing recording. Listen.
Listen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to listen. I'm all about turning turning our hobbies into something that's cool that can benefit us and the people that are listening. But I will never become one of those. You see them more on YouTube more so than on the podcast. But and I got the loot box here. Type in so-and-so / so anyway it's haunted. You get 10% off your next extra small t-shirt.
10% off with promo code Ghost.
Oh,
what would ours be? No, this
would be spook.
This is not the content that we want to put out.
It would be spook.
We want to make money, but we also want to talk about ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to sell out.
Immediately, Big Brother's like, okay.
Just like Epic Mealtime when they started selling out, and Harley at the end of one episode was like, next time we eat sellouts. And then he goes, next time we eat sellouts. Yeah, and I was like, that's appropriate. It's very appropriate.
Yeah, that was good.
Anyway, thanks for being here, Izzy. It was good talking to you. See you next time.
All right, yeah. I'll be back in 6 months.
We watched Scrooge last night.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I remember being scared of the Ghost of Christmas Future.
Okay, the first appearance, the second appearance, or the unveiling part?
The part where he opens his robe and there's like little goblin guys inside.
I remember reading that. It's like the children. It's like freaking. When we read it in high school, it was like the ghostly specter, the starving child of greed.
Wait,
or whatever. I don't know.
It was a
something.
book?
I've never read the original thing.
What?
Well, I know it's a book. It's Charles Dickens, but
Yeah,
like
it's
I've never
Charles
read
Dickens.
No,
the original.
I'm referring to Scrooged though.
No.
Okay,
No,
I
I'm
just
talking.
wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, obviously,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Sorry.
I was
For
like,
some reason,
what?
I thought you were implying that they literally had a book based upon a movie based upon a book.
The movie adaptation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's one for Home Alone 2. You can buy on Amazon for $2. We found out.
We watched Home Alone 2 as well.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah. Have we talked about the hierarchy of Christmas movies and our process, or my process that I'm forcing on everyone else to watch Christmas movies that increase in quality the closer we get to Christmas?
I don't think that's actually what's happening because we're going to wait till as close to Christmas to watch Jingle All the Way, which is
Jingle All the Way.
It's objectively bad, but I love it.
Jingle All the Way is a wreck. It's a big old mess, but it's an amazing mess.
Yeah, it's got Phil Hartman.
Yeah, Phil Hartman. Man, Phil Hartman. Miss you.
And Sinbad. For real, this one does have Sinbad. Unlike Kazam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which was Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
Oh my lord. What?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna ask. Was it that Shaquille O'Neal went by Sinbad in that movie? No, because he was Kazam.
I think the thing Izzy was referring to is that people kept getting confused, thinking that Sinbad was the main character in
a movie called Shazam.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Kazam is the Genie movie starring Shaquille O'Neal and
yes.
just plain white kid.
In their old trailer house, that was one of the few VHSs that my aunt had, was Kazam, so
Nice.
I can confirm.
Yeah. We started watching, well, this is a long time ago, but I remember we started watching Steel with Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh my man.
And that movie's great.
That was like pre...
That was when we were living in... No, that was our last apartment, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like that, I'm referring to the movie itself. That was like Bronze Age Marvel movies, and that was just their attempt to like
That's
match.
a DC movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like that was the Bronze Age during that time. You know, with like Blade and all that.
See, Blade was like
That was like...
miles ahead compared.
Yeah.
Like, this is like...
Was
this is that weird time in the early 90s where you had the David Hasselhoff Nick Fury movie, and you had like Steel, and
was this pre-Batman? Batman?
I want to say no. Batman was '89.
Okay.
The original Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah.
So I want to say it was like this kind of weird because all the Superman movies had ended by I think the mid '80s.
Yeah.
So and then I think it was like that weird time between Batman Returns and I think like Batman Forever. So there's like this this desert of superhero movies. So it was just like you only ever saw them maybe in cartoons.
Oh, how times have changed.
Yes. Well, I mean, honestly, I would love to see Shaq come back as
Me
John Henry Irons,
too.
but with like real like effects and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, even if he's just like a background, like, oh, there's John Henry Irons working on stuff. And yes, that's his name. That is Steele's name.
It's pretty great. It's good stuff.
So haunted, huh?
Yep.
I felt like I was listening to like a movie podcast.
Yeah.
No, I actually felt, I was like, wow, I'm really enjoying this. And then I was like, wow, I would really enjoy listening to this in my car. This is really nice. Let's not stop. No, but for real though, it was just
Backdoor
like, wow.
pilot. No.
He knows so much about movies.
Yeah, we could do a movie podcast.
We
That'd
really
be pretty
could.
fun.
Hey, get out of here. Shut that down. No, but for real though, you really could. It would be really good. I would listen to it even though I live with the majority of the podcast hosts.
Yeah.
We just like movies, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was tempted to suggest like a once a month thing.
Yeah.
Where we just
a movie book club.
Yeah, where we just watch like a movie or movie series.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then we just dish about it. You know?
We dish about it. Oh
yeah, we should have done Tremors. I guess we could just rewatch Tremors.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, we should.
I would say if
it.
we're gonna do that, we need to watch all, I think, 5 or 6 of them.
Oh gosh.
Because there's Tremors 1.
What about the Tremors TV series?
That is actually a pretty good series, but yeah, no, actually, it would give context to 4, 5, and 6 a little bit.
Okay, I'll read the Wikipedia article.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. But anyways,
again, I'd totally listen to that. Yeah. So
haunted stuff.
Huh?
Haunted stuff.
Yeah, haunted stuff. Anything else? Anything else that happened this week?
No.
We're having our Christmas party next Saturday. We're really psyched about it.
You're not invited. I'm sorry.
Wow, he made eye contact and said that. He did that.
Well, if you are the crowd, then yes, I'm making eye contact.
Oh, what I was gonna say at the end of that though was like, hey, listeners, if you guys want Mac and Izzy and Chris to start another podcast, let us know because it would be awesome, and they'll be really good at it, and it's probably gonna be really in depth and fun. So
I would probably do it like without recording, just like
I would just chat anyways.
Yeah, we do that anyway. But anyway, okay, let's dive right in, Joey. So
that was me diving in
after the mermaids from last week.
Oh man,
the mermans.
It's like I can't. So to find the pictures and stuff, I was looking at pictures of mermaids, and then the friggin' Fiji mermaid or whatever, and mermaids actually really scare me. Like, I didn't realize it, but they actually, like, the sea, I'm actually afraid of the sea, and I'm actually pretty afraid of mermaids. Like, that freaks me out.
I've actually found it weird that I am, in a sense, way more afraid of, like, the deep ocean than I am of space.
Yeah.
Space is, for the most part, empty. The sea is not.
Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft was, like, all about creepy stuff in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dagon.
Dagon.
The fish cult.
That movie's weird, Izzy.
Yeah.
That's a weird movie.
Yeah, the last Lovecraft short story I read was, I think, the one where, like, some guy had crashed, like, shipwrecked on an island, and he found, like, the big creepy rock that the fish people were.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And then, but then there's also the sci-fi original movie.
Yeah.
But that one was not great. It was pretty slow.
Was it sci-fi original?
Well, I saw it a lot on sci-fi, but I don't know if it was I think it was a direct-to-DVD.
Yeah.
Kind of spooky, like, there's something wrong with this here town.
Was it the one... Are we thinking about the same one? Was it the one where they skinned the homeless guy's face at the end?
To be honest, I never got through it because it was really boring. I just remember there was, like, creepy fish cult kind of vibe going.
Oh, yeah.
I never finished it.
I think the one that we watched is based on the short story Shadow over Innsmouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it had the vibe where it was like the port town.
Yeah.
And it was all like kind of dilapidated, but there was like something creepy going on, and there's dark stuff going on in the church.
Yeah.
But you know,
there's always dark stuff going on in the church.
Yeah. Well.
Also, just a side note shout out, since we're talking about Lovecraftian stuff. Casey, one of our good friends and listener, got this absolutely sick Lovecraft tattoo that is just, gosh.
Yeah,
I mean, he
really
tries to put it off like, oh, it's not a big deal because it was based off of art. Doesn't matter. The guy that did it was, like, phenomenal. It looks great. The color, the style, just wow.
Yeah.
Do you lose your grasp of reality when you gaze into the dark sigils?
You start to go
upon the skin.
If any other listeners have like cool tattoos that are gnarly or paranormal, let us know. And
I want to see them.
yeah, but all right, someone's too
I
excited.
want to see them.
Let me see.
Do they glow with incantations? Let us know.
Oh yeah, send pics. We'll share them on our Instagram.
Does it burn when your enemies get nearby?
Wow.
Let us know.
Does what burn?
The tattoo.
Oh.
He's like, ah.
The tattoo
And then
guys.
Tom from work is just like, hey, Jim. He's like, oh, get away from me.
There are masons nearby. The tattoo burns.
Oh my lord. Okay, what do you got for us this week?
All right, so this week I'm going to be talking about the Menger Hotel in San Antonio.
What?
Yeah, I have a picture up. If you guys.
Oh yeah, there's a picture.
Yeah.
I
So
thought that
look at
was-
that picture. It's really nice.
Did you think that was a screensaver for the
Yeah.
Apple TV?
Well, yeah, I thought that was just a thing from a movie. It didn't occur
It
to me.
really
that
does
you
look like it would,
Yeah.
especially considering the season. It definitely looks like it would be in like a Christmas version of the Princess Diaries or something.
true.
Yeah.
The Christmas Princess.
Christmas version of the Princess Diaries. That's an idea.
Stop. Don't.
Okay. So I got all my information from Wikipedia, obviously, and Sisters Grimm Ghost Tour blog.weebly.com and hauntedrooms.com.
Weeboo.com?
Yep. You got it.
Weeboo.
So William Menger had immigrated from Germany to America in 1847. He settled in San Antonio and resumed his previous trade as a cooper and a brewer. With his German roots, Menger brought beer to San Antonio.
I did not know that. That is very interesting.
I'm sorry, it's just that the way that it's worded is just like Texans didn't know what beer was before. They're like, what is this?
I mean, I guess not. I don't know.
Ooh, Das Draft.
All they had was the whiskey.
Yep. You know what? You actually might be right there. I didn't think about that.
In 1858, the Mengers hired an architect, John M. Fries, along with contractor J.H. Campman, to complete the 2-story, 50-room hotel. Up until this point, most accommodations in San Antonio were boarding houses. So this was like luxurious at the time. William and Mary Menger opened the Menger Hotel in 1859 in San Antonio's Alamo Plaza, and the hotel was an overnight success. The plans for the hotel arose through the popularity of his brewery. The Mengers witnessed the events that led up to the Civil War and later experienced the turmoil of the Reconstruction era. As the prospect of war gained momentum in southern Texas, it brought many soldiers to San Antonio. The large number of soldiers stationed in the city created a need for more boarding houses, and the Mengers happily provided rooms for the soldiers. After the war began, it was a struggle to maintain the hotel's business. The Menger family decided to put the building to use to aid in the war effort.
Wow.
Due to its slow service and hard-to-come-by help, the hotel shut down its guest rooms during the war. However, they maintained the dining room in order to feed the military personnel, and they also offered space for medical care of wounded soldiers, which is just asking to make things haunted.
Especially with Confederate ghosts.
Yeah, it's like anytime there's like and we treated dying soldiers. Oh, there's the ghost factory.
Yep. There's something about I will say that there's something about haunted places, like soldiers haunting a place because of like World War I or like the Civil War or like the Alamo. Like there's something about it that doesn't scare me because there's no mystery to it. Like it is all this negative energy, like these deaths, this negative energy, this pain, and I mean, maybe some spirits and stuff that manifest. That's just so one-to-one. Like, it's so obvious, you know?
Yeah, I feel like seeing someone in just, like, an old army uniform is somehow less scary than seeing, like a woman in, like a white dress or something like that. Or
do you think
like
that would be because they represent some symbolism of, like, structure and, like...
I don't know. I guess it's, like, less mysterious. You'd automatically know, like, what it's from, what it's doing here.
I don't know. I think I'd be a little spooked by specifically a war ghost because, you know, I mean, if you're under the pretense that, you know, ghosts are supposed to be beings that didn't find peace in their death, you know, this is coming from something that fought for something that obviously they probably didn't necessarily fully believe in. I mean, I'm not saying that everybody that fights in a war doesn't fight for that cause, but I mean, like, if you're dying, you know, specifically, like, you know, like, for instance, if we're talking about the Confederate War, I mean, you know, maybe they're not too happy with the way they went out, you know.
Yeah.
Also, musket wounds are incredibly...
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
Pretty much any Civil War wound was horrible because I don't think at that point they discovered, like, cleaning or sanitation.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of, like, people dying of gangrene and amputations. And, so pretty much every injury during the Civil War was terrible.
Yeah.
So that could explain why there'd be extra Civil War ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Just because...
Extra bad energy.
Yeah, because it's just like... They probably might have sat in that bed for 6 weeks, slowly dying of their organs rotting from inside them and stuff. So, psychic energy alone would be off the charts.
Unfortunately, after a little over a decade of turning the Menger Hotel into San Antonio's finest, William Menger died in 1871. So his wife and his son, Louis William, continued to run the hotel and brewery. On February 19th, 1877, the first train steamed into San Antonio, which further contributed to the growing success of the hotel. This allowed for a higher volume of travelers through the city and began to promote the growth of the Alamo Plaza. Even so, Mary was aware that the building was lacking in the latest technologies, such as bathrooms, proper water closets, or bells. She took it upon herself to make the necessary adjustments to the establishment. Eventually, Mary realized she was becoming too old to care for the hotel, and her son was not interested in running the business, basically. So they decided to sell the hotel to its original contractor, Major J.H. Campman. The hotel was sold on November 7th, 1881, at the price of $118,000, which in today's currency would round to about $2.8 million.
Wow.
That is insane. That's crazy.
Do they happen, I'm sure they don't, but do they happen to say how old Campman was at the time?
I don't know. I didn't.
Because, he was hired as a contractor, so maybe he was a little younger than him, but I can't imagine by much.
He had those good young man's working hands.
Congratulations, Campman. It's yours now.
Can I just say, though, that in the late 1800s, having a woman own a hotel and do everything she could to keep it in business and then make the necessary business decisions, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's, really cool.
Yeah. Hotel and brewery.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm hearing remarkably little about this brewery.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't come up much in this story. Campman also bought all the furniture in the hotel for $8,500, or $200,000 in today's currency.
Wow.
So Major John Herman, that's a J.H. in Campman, managed the hotel from 1881 until 1943, and made numerous additions to the hotel, including an entirely new wing, a new lobby, an expanded dining room, and in 1887, a new saloon was added to the hotel.
Ooh.
The bar would come to be a huge success among both the local citizens as well as famous celebrities. The Menger Bar, as it is known, gave off an elegant appeal with its ornate mahogany tables and chairs, large mirrors, fine crystal, and sterling silver.
Dang.
The bar of the hotel is connected to Teddy Roosevelt because it is where he recruited and met with his Rough Riders organization. Additionally, Herman added a fourth floor to the Blum Street side of the hotel. After World War I, the family could no longer provide for the hotel to host large social events, and by 1929, the hotel had been so neglected that it was removed from the guidebooks. The Great Depression also contributed to the hotel's abandonment for not enough revenue. Due to the lack of guests, also contributed to the hotel's abandonment for not enough revenue due to the lack of guests was being made to make repairs and renovations. That doesn't make sense. The hotel would enter what is known as its declining elegance period. The 1930s and 40s were no different for the hotel's improvements. So much so that plans to tear down the building and build a parking lot in its place were being discussed. However, in June 30th, 1944, the National Hotel Corporation, founded by William Lewis Moody Jr., took control of the hotel. And he turned it around, basically.
Do you think it's the same guy from Moody Gardens?
I'm pretty sure it is. He's like a huge, influential person from the Galveston area.
Yeah, I think this company is actually located in its main base is in the Galveston area.
Ooh.
Interesting. Conspiracy.
Flying above Galveston, of course.
on his giant fortress.
Even then he knew.
His giant pyramid fortress. With its all-seeing eye.
Yep.
Wait a second.
Yep. Over the years, the Menger Hotel has had numerous famous guests walk its luxurious halls.
Luxurious.
The list of guests includes Presidents Ulysses S. Grant, Benjamin Harrison, Teddy Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, William H. Taft, William McKinley, Harry Truman, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Lyndon Johnson, George H.W. Bush, and Bill Clinton. And also Sam Houston, Robert E. Lee, and William Hood Simpson. And other public figures, including Oscar Wilde. Okay, so some of the ghosts. One of them is Captain Richard King. He is an apparition that has been witnessed in the hotel. He was the owner of one of the biggest ranches in the world, the King Ranch.
Hey, I eat his chicken.
Yeah, my should I guess, okay, I'll say it for, I don't know, for privacy's sake. I had a family member work at King Ranch, and it was like they're really into their own history and like their family that founded it, and like I don't know, their actual ranch is enormous and everyone's obsessed with it, so it's like not really a cult but like kind of a cult, which I think is just really strange.
You know, Texas once was the ranch.
It's a big deal here in Texas. Like, I think...
Yeah, if you're like an old family...
Yeah.
I mean, you're either one of the poor old families that sold off all their property or one of the ones that bought, like, all the property.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They even have their own, like, special version of the Ford F-150.
What the heck?
The King Ranch Edition.
What the heck?
Yeah, I think it's only available if you purchase it in Texas, though.
Yeah.
So he would often stay at the hotel during his lifetime as he had his own personal suite. After being informed of his impending death by his physician.
That's one way to put it.
You're gonna die, son.
So after being informed of that, he spent the last few months of his life in his suite, writing his will and bidding farewell to his friends. His funeral was even held in the parlor of the hotel. His suite, now named the King Ranch Room, is where his ghost has been seen, entering the room where the door was once located before the room was remodeled. There is also a woman in a blue dress. I guess they don't really know who she is. She's an apparition that has been seen in the original hotel lobby. On one occasion, a staff member witnessed a woman in an old-fashioned blue dress knitting in the lobby. Approaching her, the staff member asked if she was okay and if there was anything she needed. But she answered with a stern no, and then disappeared shortly after.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The spirit also talked back, which is crazy.
Yeah, that seems pretty unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen often. Come on, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
How dare this plebeian address me?
So the next one is more in depth. Is the ghost of Sally White.
Ooh.
Sally White was a chambermaid employed at the hotel who was killed by her common-law husband, Henry Wheeler, on March 30th, 1876. Henry was an abusive husband and murdered Sally over attention she would get from other men.
Wow.
And here is a snippet of the article that I'm going to read it. I'm not going to actually move it. That was like in the San Antonio paper. It goes, another outrage, malicious and probably fatal shooting of a woman by her crazed husband. The peaceful neighborhood to the rear of the Menger Hotel was yesterday morning suddenly disturbed by pistol shots, succeeded by the shrill shrieks of a female. A man by the name of Henry Wheeler was murdering his wife. The tale runs thus.
Wait, so I laughed because Izzy was making finger guns. I wasn't laughing at this tale. I just want everyone to know that. Thank you. Also, if you're hearing other people talk in the background,
It's the
house.
ghost.
Yeah, it's the house.
The house is
The
definitely
tall man
haunted.
finally came out of my scene.
The ghosts are playing the new Smash Brothers in the other
He
room.
won't leave my games alone.
Wheeler and his wife had been very quarrelsome for some time, and complaints of abuse from her husband have been carried to the recorder's court, where the offender has met justice. Monday evening, Wheeler seemed to be very angry about something, and finding that his wife was absent from home, proceeded to search for her in the surrounding neighborhood. He was successful in his search, and immediately upon meeting her, began to abuse her to the extent of his calumnious capacity. On returning to their dwelling, Wheeler made the open and bold declaration that he would murder her, storming and swearing all the while. The woman could bear his threats and abuse no longer, and sought the protection of the police. The house was searched, but no arms found, but still the woman said, "He will kill me if I stay here tonight." Finally, arrangements were made for her to spend the night at the recorder's office, where she went in peace, and slept until yesterday morning undisturbed. She awoke between the hours of 6 and 7, and proceeded to go home. Arriving near the dwelling, she was again met by her husband, who, with a 6-shooter in his hand, proceeded to carry out the determined work of her death. He seized her. He fired the ball, wounding her severely in the bowels. She ran, and after her he went, firing 2 other shots and felling the partner of his bosom on the south side of the Menger Brewery. The attack from beginning to end is a revolting one, being actuated by pure malice aforethought, making him, it would seem, if the woman dies, subject to the highest punishment the criminal offender has to bear. However, Henry would only receive punishment if Sally died. And in the 2 days it took her to pass away, Henry fled and was never heard from or prosecuted.
Wow.
What a total coward. Yeah. I'm so mad he's dead. I'm so mad because this was so long ago and now he's dead. Come on, man. That's lame.
I don't know,
That's
man.
assuming he wasn't dragged to hell by his murdered wife.
I know,
fled.
right?
Yeah. However, since the Menger Hotel loved Sally as an employee so much and held her in such high regard, they paid for her funeral expenses, which added up to $32.
Good Lord. $32.
They say Sally White's spirit can be seen today roaming the hallways of the Menger Hotel and carrying on with her normal chambermaid duties. Guests that stay the night at the hotel have reported seeing a maid in an old-fashioned uniform coming into their rooms and disappearing right in front of their eyes. One woman saw a maid at the end of the hallway and approached her to ask for more towels, but when she called out to her, she ignored her. Perplexed, she walked closer to the maid, who then turned and walked into an empty room. When she approached the room and looked inside, there was no one in it. The maid had disappeared. A few months back, one of our staff members had just finished a dinner and ghost tour inside of the Menger Hotel. Oh, I got this off of the Grimm Sisters ghost tours. A few months back, one of our staff members had just finished a dinner and ghost tour inside of the Menger Hotel. As they were putting the remaining supplies into the storage closet, the door suddenly slammed behind them. Startled, they turned and saw the doorknob begin to twist and turn violently. They approached the door, turned the still moving knob, and slowly opened the door, but they found no one in sight. Perhaps this was Sally continuing on with her daily duties.
That perhaps it was Sally scaring the literal poop out of me. Like, what the heck? And just slams the door and then just like, like, bro, that's so scary. Yeah. Can you imagine?
Sounds like our cats.
That dang girl's in my toilet again.
So here's some miscellaneous ghosts. A male entity has been witnessed by a guest who was getting out of the shower. Emerging from the shower, the guest saw a man dressed in a buckskin jacket and gray pants, seemingly arguing with an unseen presence. "Are you going to stay, or are you going to go?" He was reported saying 3 times before he vanished. There have also been reports of helpful ghosts in the kitchen, with staff members often reporting utensils floating through the air from one area to the other.
Oh my gosh.
Due to the location of the hotel facing the site of the Alamo, many of the reports can be attributed to lives that were lost here. One of the most frequent reports is the sound of heavy footsteps and the sighting of old military boots, which I don't really get. Like, you just see the boots, like nothing else.
Huh.
That seems...
Yeah.
That seems really weird.
I mean, it could be like you see like boots under a fence, and then you go to look
Right,
around.
right,
And suddenly,
Yeah.
You know,
Just the boots.
Just the boots. So I have some images of like different... let's see.
That's a chambermaid.
Okay. So this first one supposedly is Teddy Roosevelt. I don't know. I don't know what this is. So it is a picture of what looks like someone's head looking over one of the top balconies. And yeah, I don't know how you get Teddy Roosevelt from that.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
I mean, Like I kind of see maybe some glasses, but I mean,
Yeah. Also,
why would Teddy
doesn't look
Roosevelt's
like
ghost be at a Texas hotel?
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he probably died in like New York or something.
Yeah.
So my mom and stepdad stayed in the Menger Hotel earlier this year or like last year or something like that. And yeah, she told us where they were going because we were house sitting for them. And I looked it up and I was like, "Oh dude, it's haunted. Like what? That's crazy." And so we started looking it up and we read something that said the ghost of Teddy Roosevelt is always seen at the bar or whatever, but we were like, why would he randomly visit a bar that he went to a couple times?
Yeah. I guess reading through the history now, like it meant a lot more to him than we originally thought. But also, there's like because I think we read that the Driscoll Hotel has also had sightings of like Teddy Roosevelt, and it just seems weird that like can he be in two places at the same time? Like I don't really.
I mean, if we're accepting the reality that ghosts are real, I'm going to accept the reality that they could be in multiple places. Or a lot of Teddy Roosevelt impersonators died too. And since that was their livelihood, they just continued it on afterwards.
True. That's very true.
Could it be Teddy Roosevelt never left the hotel?
Oh, yeah.
It's just sort of like a Dread Pirate Roberts thing where somebody would take up the mantle of Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt died in Texas. One of them died in Cuba. One of them died in Yosemite. And just someone rose and took the mantle.
Yeah. By the way, all these images are going to be on the Instagram, so you guys can look through them with us. So this next one, it's kind of a creepy apparition. I don't know. It looks a little bit fake, but...
Fake! Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It does look kind of creepy.
Dude, look at that. Come on. Zoom. I'm a believer, but come on.
And I saw her silhouette. Now I'm a believer.
Oh, did you really? Okay. This is...
That looks a little
I don't know, dude. Also, like, why would there be a ghost of someone who wasn't dressed in the garb that most ghosts are dressed in for this hotel?
Yeah, that's like a mini dress or something like that.
It's like a summer sundress.
Unless somebody is running around in their skivvies.
Skivvies?
So this next one, that one looks a little bit creepier. It's kind of the same thing where it's like a sort of the gray outline of someone. It kind of looks like an alien. It also reminds me of that that part in the opening title sequence of X-Files where you see the guy walking down the hallway. Yeah.
All right. Okay. It's really, really hard for me to believe pictures like this. You know, like when they're like, "Oh yes, I visited this very haunted place, and I actually got a ghost. It's definitely haunted." I don't. It just, I don't know. Humans want to see what they want to see. Yeah. I'm not saying they didn't see anything, but I don't know.
It looks kind of creepy. So let's see. Yeah, this next one is outside. That looks a little bit weird.
What is that?
It's the Slender
I don't know.
Huh.
That one seems definitely.
Oh wait, is it a picture of the outside looking into a window? Because it looks like a woman sitting there or something.
The way I saw it is like they're looking just outside, like maybe in the courtyard or something like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys will see this on the Instagram, as Chris said.
So are these like intentional pictures?
It's Teddy.
I mean, if they're fakes, they're obviously set up to be intentional.
But see, that one looks just like it's like a teenager.
Yeah. So the woman that posted this said that the girl in the red is actually there, but when she took the picture and then she immediately noticed that something was following her, and there was no other girl like in the hallway.
Wow. Okay, that's dude. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you zoom out?
That one's pretty creepy.
So this person didn't realize that they were taking a picture?
No, she took a picture. I think she was just taking a picture of like the architecture.
So it was like an accidental, like, who's this person? And they were like, what?
Yeah. Like she took a picture with the girl in the red shirt in it, but then she realized there was something behind her.
Wow. All right. Okay.
And then this last one should have ended on the girl one because this last one kind of seems weird. It's just like a misty picture of like maybe someone walking down the hallway. This also reminds me of the X-Files opening too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I find pictures a lot creepier when they didn't intend to try to take a picture or something, and there's just something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't really picture being able to like get at like a ghost.
Yeah.
Like on purpose.
That's true. All right. And that's the Menger Hotel, guys.
Thank you for sharing that with us. That's awesome. We gotta go now.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Get some brews.
I don't think it's super expensive now. I think it's a pretty expensive hotel. It's a couple $100 a night. But, you know, I mean, I'd love to go visit the Alamo at least once in my life.
Yeah, that's true. We've never been.
Yeah.
Native Texan, never been to the Alamo.
Yeah.
You guys could record
Never.
a podcast in the Menger Hotel.
Oh, that's true.
And you can just leave a mic open
You really could.
and you can just
Yeah.
watch the recording and see if anything.
Yeah. And we usually take Mac and Ellie on our trips anyway, so
Yeah.
we'll be together.
And then the moment I try to do my segment, you just hear, I am Teddy Roosevelt. I am Teddy Roosevelt. I am Teddy Roosevelt.
Yep.
It's like, Teddy,
Like-
shut up.
Do you mind?
Bully.
But, okay, so just to end your segment, though, going off of my previous theory that, you know, Teddy Roosevelt impersonators died and were ghosts.
Yeah.
Do you think if you saw a picture of one of the impersonators and you said, hey, that's the ghost of Teddy Roosevelt, that he would find peace and then go,
Yeah.
they thought I was Teddy.
I was good enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Izzy?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to look up like ghosts that are transient, I guess, because most of the time they're like bound to a specific place.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, it would be perfectly in character for Teddy Roosevelt to just gallivant around in the afterlife.
That's true.
True.
So I mean,
Teddy, you're not supposed to do that.
get back in the grave, Teddy. Shut up, Franklin. I'll do what I wish. I don't know.
I like that.
Not that Franklin yells at Teddy to get back into the grave.
Yeah. That's pretty
I
good.
believe it.
Yeah.
That's how I want to imagine the afterlife. So for today's urban legend segment, we are going. Quick, give me a didgeridoo sound. We're going down under. I'm sorry, Australia. So this urban legend is less so much of an urban legend, more along the lines of folklore, and less scary, more mysterious. This is about the Baijini people. They were supposedly another entire new race of people, much like the Aborigines before people came to Australia.
Okay.
Or, well, I mean, early. So, you know, I mean, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
dude, it sounds great.
I'm interested.
Anyways, so the Baijini are a race of people, mythical or historically unknown,
Okay.
mentioned in the Jangawul song cycle of the Aboriginal Yolngu people of Arnhem Land, in Australia's Northern Territory. The myths regarding them have become part of a debate about pre-European presence of the Australian continent, much like the discovery of medieval Kilwa Sultanate
Oh, yes.
coinage
Sultanate, yes,
on
yes,
the
yes.
Marchamber Island.
Oh.
Okay, Spark Notes version. They found money on an island they thought was uninhabited, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, hey, people were here. Weird."
No,
But,
you don't have to give us a Spark Notes.
No, you got Spark
I
Notes.
I went to
You
Texas
got it.
public school, so my
What
education is...
that mean?
I appreciate it.
According to one view, the word Baijini itself is said to have been derived from a Makasaranese root with the meaning women, which would fit with the fact that the Baijini of the myths have women among them, unlike the historical Makasan Trepang fisherman Joseph Needham.
Oh.
Did that make sense to you?
So that's a group of people with women in it?
Yeah, I thought when I first saw it that it meant that the tribe was all women, but
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
For some reason, they're like, it's a big deal that there are women here.
It's not like the island of Lesbos.
Nope. Guess again.
So,
Joseph.
wait, were they saying that there's one tribe of these fishermen, and then that apparently don't have women?
Yeah, So, Baijin of myths have women among them, unlike the historical Makasan Trepang fishermen.
Okay.
Which
It's
I
all
guess
men.
they anytime they would get like a cut on their hand, they'd be like, ah, and then the blood would form into another man. Yeah.
It's like a starfish.
As God intended. Joseph Needham wondered if the word Baijini itself might not have been derived from Chinese Bai Rin, white people.
Okay.
That's what that means. Bai Rin, white people. Those with lighter skin than Australian natives, Bai Rin, northern people, or even Beijing Grin, people from Beijing. That's what it means. The Baijini, in Yolngu legend... I love these words.
Struggle bus, man. That's all right. We're all here for you.
My entire segment is nothing but let's mispronunciate. In the Jangawol song cycles, it is told how in the legendary land of Buralgu, somewhere beyond the Grute Alant, there was once lived 3 eternal beings called the Jangawul, a brother and his elder and his younger sisters.
Okay.
3 eternal beings, a brother, his elder, and younger sisters.
No, I think it's saying that there's the brother, and then he has elder and younger sisters. Not that there's.
Oh, I
so
see.
he has his sisters.
He's a middle child.
Yes, he's the middle.
Oh, okay.
The middle boy and the old sister and the young sister.
I see. With the younger sisters.
Izzy works it out every time.
Together with a 4th man, Brow. That's literally, Brow. Bu Ralgu itself has been a stepping stone in their journey south from an even more distant land. The 4, after a series of Orf ceremonies, rode out from the island and after several days came to Arnhem Land and followed the coast to Jelna Bara. Are any of you Australian people listening making sense of this? I'm so...
Yeah.
Then they traveled outland until they came to Wabilnga Island, and it was there that they came across the Baijini folk.
Huh.
That's where they found them.
Okay.
We haven't been talking about them. That's where they found them. Right. The Baijini folk live in Wabilnga Island.
Okay.
Sounds like a Cartoon Network show. Anyways, the Baijini folk cooking trepang at the site, still marked by a tamarind grove.
Ooh, tamarind.
That awfully specific. The Jangawu claimed this place as their own, asking the Baijini to move off, which they did.
Oh, gosh.
Wow, amazing. Horrible.
I'm sure that's exactly, if this is historically accurate, that's exactly how it went too. They're just like, hey, go.
Yeah, no
like,
beheading, no killing in the sleep.
The Dreamtime landing site at the... Dreamtime landing site at the Jelanbara was, according to the song cycle, also later a Baijini settlement. These are words. Do they mean things? Thankfully, we're now at the theory segment.
Okay.
So it has been argued that the accounts of the Baijini in the Aboriginal folklore are in fact a mythological reflection of the experiences of some Aboriginals who have traveled to Sulawesi with the Masakans and came back. If there was indeed a historical reality behind the Baijini mentioned in the Yolgun myth, while the origin and timing of those Asians who would have been served as prototypes for this mythological people remained lost in that part in the past, it is suggested that they may have been identified with the Sama Baiju, or Sea Gypsies.
Sea Gypsies, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't worry, we go into that.
Okay.
The fishing folk of Southeast Asia who traveled with their families. The Australian anthropologist Ronald Burnt, an authority on mythology of the indigenous people of Arnhem Land, had undertaken investigative work in Yirkala and Milingimbi. What is your names? In the late 1400s. In his work on their mythic traditions, published in 1952, he wrote, "The Baijini, although partially mythological, are rather historical, for they're said to have been pre-Masakans, primarily traders and aliens to the coast, and not in any way creative as the dead Jangawal. They are, however, treated in the myth as contemporary as being with these ancestral beings." Burnt.
But I can't do an Irish accent.
No. You see, the difference between me and you is that when I was working at that one Chinese restaurant, And 2 Australian gentlemen actually came in and asked if we had grain pea soup, and then laughed at us whenever we said no. So I've actually met an Australian person, i.e. I'm allowed to. I asked him, I was like, hey, if I ever record a podcast like 7 years in the future, do I have your permission? He's like, yeah, sure, whatever, man, go right on ahead. Burnt added that similar to the Masakan Trepang fishermen in Australia, known to the historians, the Baijini of the Jangawul myth are said to be cooking trepang where the tamarind trees stand today. I said it like that because it's 2-day. Oh. Tamarind trees are thought to have been introduced into Australia by the Masakans. According to the interpretations of the legend, the Baijini not only built stone houses, but also cultivated rice paddies. Basically, to boil this down and get past all the theoretical stuff, the tip top of Australia was, a good ways away, but the closest thing to it was the Philippine Islands, and then i.e., China. And so basically they were like, Chinese people found their way to Australia before, all those prisoners were sent to Australia. Yeah. And they're like, oh, big island.
Interesting.
Cool. Wonder how far it goes.
It's like how obviously the native people in America were already here, but Vikings had visited way before.
When are we going to talk about Vikings? I don't know. That's up to me.
Okay.
So did I miss what these
basically the Aboriginal people? Do you know what the Aboriginal people? I'm not.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. What is the creature that we're talking about?
So, like I said, it's less of a creature and more of they consider them to be celestial beings.
Yeah, they're like unknown people that they have never seen before, but are most likely just maybe
Chinese people. Yeah,
explorers.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what. So basically, what it was the Aboriginal people, because that's Baijini. What they were saying is as close to the Chinese word for basically white person. Yeah. But the Aboriginal people were referring to the Asian people as that, which I'm sure they were probably saying Baijini.
Yeah, to them.
Yeah, to them, to describe lighter skin, and so it just stuck with the Aboriginal people, and they're like, oh, Baijini. Yeah. You're light skinned, so. And to them, they're just like, oh, these are God people. When isn't that what happens every time a new race was introduced to a country? No, it's not. Sadly. But I mean, a lot of times it was like, "Oh, you must be gods," and then they're just making rice patties and stealing your food. Yeah. So. Okay,
because I thought that's where that was going. I was just like, "Wait, is it not even?" Wow, so interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. And so this is the last thing I was just going to mention. The Samabaju, which is the island gypsies that I was talking about earlier. Yeah. They are a real group of people, and I was just gonna real quick, give a little tidbit about them to show where maybe this was grounded in reality. And also, Australia is a big place, and it has a lot of creepy stuff. I just wanted to talk about something a little different for once. Yeah. So spoilers for next week. I'm getting into the creatures of Australia next time, so no need to.
Yowie.
A yowie. Yeah. So
what's a yowie? Give us a sneak peek of a yowie. Give us a
tidbit.
I think it's like a tiny little fuzzy critter.
Yeah.
It was one of the Australian analogs in my little Bigfoot quiz.
Nice.
But I think they're actually like little critters, not Bigfoot sized critters.
Yeah.
Small feet.
Is it like a critter from the movie Critters?
I'd have to do some research.
But I never heard this word before. I guess it's kind of like how you say African American or American Asian, or I don't hear too many American ethnic terms, but anyways, I've never heard this one before. But so the Samabaju refers to several Austronesian ethnic groups in the maritime Southeast Asia with the origins from the southern Philippines. The name collectively refers to the people who usually call themselves Sama or Sama and are known by the exonyms Baju, also spelled Bajau, Baja, Baju. You can't see them, but I'm saying them, so whatever. Okay. They usually live a seaborne lifestyle and use small wooden sailing vessels. Imagine, if you will, I'm not saying these are those people, they're not Polynesian, but Moana. the whole idea of traveling, the ocean to smaller islands, getting supplies, and then going on foot. That's these people, but, above Australia.
Yeah.
Something about horse culture.
Horse culture?
Yeah, and there's only 1.1 million of them worldwide. Wow. Let's see. I was going to talk about their...
Is tamarind from Asia?
I'd have to do some research.
Because it's really big in Mexico, isn't it?
I mean,
like tamarind candies and just the tamarind flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a New World thing. It could be an Asian thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because the weird thing is like, with respect to possibly like Chinese explorers and stuff, there have been tons of situations throughout history where like the Chinese would. Like I think at one point there were these giant treasure fleets that China sent out just to see because I think it was whenever they had the empire isolated.
Yeah.
So they sent out a bunch of these giant, massive treasure ships, like bigger than like Spanish galleon. Like that was kind of like I'm kind of what I'm picturing. Like
yeah, I think so.
They were much bigger than those, and they sent them all over the world just to see what was out there, and they came back with just stuff they found.
Yeah.
And they would show like, okay, so this is what we found, and then the Chinese government at that point was like, yeah, we're good. Like, I think they found they went and got like the smaller clocks like from Europe and just different things from all over the world.
Yeah.
And I guess at the time they were like, well, we've got this bigger mechanism that tells time, so there's no reason to even worry about this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of what fed into like the isolationist thing with China. And I think there was also speculation that I think on the west coast of either the U.S. or South America that there had been Asian, I guess, colonization or explorers that had shown up.
Interesting.
So, I mean, it's not uncommon for, I guess, various Asian entities to be kind of poking around the oceans.
Yeah.
Just possibly the reason that whatever that colony was didn't stay is because the locals maybe more sternly asked them to leave, and so they left. Or it could be that they just decided it wasn't worth having any kind of colonies that far out.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Okay. But, to wrap it up with them, basically, it just, when looking at the Sea Gypsy people, it just says, it has been suggested by some researchers that the Samabaju people visit to Arnhem Island gave rise to the accounts of mysterious Baijini and the people of myths. They've been quite a few notable people from that land. One of my favorite little tidbits that I'll mention because it's my favorite thing in the world. So there was a man named Bana Sailani, and he was one of the first. Goodness sakes, how do you say it again? Samabaju.
Okay.
He was one of the he was the first Samabaju Olympic swimmer who represented the entirety of the Philippines in the 1956 Summer Olympics.
Wow.
And he won 5 bronze medals and 1 silver.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
That was a very long time ago. He was most popularly known as Bapa Banana.
Okay.
That's Baba Banana. So, like I said, that was more of a folklore historical thing this week, but we're going to get into the nitty and gritty down under next week.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now I just want a rice cake.
I can go for
Or to
rice
tell
cakes.
people to get off land and just take it for yourself.
Okay, so I guess it's quiz time.
Yeah.
See if Matt can reign supreme once again or not.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Sorry.
the topic for today is Cannibal or country music performer.
Okay.
Cannibal or country music performer?
So I'm going to read out some names.
Oh boy.
Are there any that are both?
I can't prove one way or another.
Dude.
So
Willie Nelson.
I mean, you'll have to do your own digging to see.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, it's like an either or. It's
Okay,
not
Got it.
all of the above situation. All right. So you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So the first name I'm going to give you, Albert Fish.
Cannibal.
Oh, come on.
That's a softball.
Crazy masochistic
I said it first.
dude.
That's a cannibal.
I said cannibal first. I just want to clarify.
Okay.
Can we just say we're not only into paranormal things, but also we're
Murder.
into true crime and serial killers?
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Stop
Bang, boom,
downplaying it.
bang, boom.
You guys got it.
All I'm saying is I got number 1 right. The first one. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess just a little bit of background. He murdered a bunch of people, molested a bunch of kids,
Mm-hmm.
and his pretty much excuse was he's not crazy, he's queer, which
Yeah.
I don't think really.
No, that doesn't bring on the desire to eat flesh.
Or to nail, to hammer nails into nether regions of your body.
Yeah, that too. And he was specifically the guy that wrote the letter about the little girl, right? Where he was like, "Oh yeah, her butt was delicious."
Yeah. With he had it with roast vegetables.
And I'm going to
Yep.
point out that apparently butt meat is pretty popular with the cannibal community.
Wow.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Where else
It's
are you gonna-
really succulent. Like what
I
is
mean-
the fattest? That's what it is.
It gets the
I'm
most
sorry.
work.
I'm sorry.
It's that of the thigh.
I'm just saying it seems to be a common thread amongst cannibals.
Yeah.
Look, man, I don't even eat dead animals. Okay, so
But here's the question:
I'm
Would you
definitely not
eat a
gonna eat a
dead person
person.
before you would eat another dead animal?
no, I wouldn't eat either.
I
Either.
don't understand.
Neither.
But you know for a
Either.
fact that humans are objectively evil.
Oh my
so.
lord, that's true. I don't want my brain, my
If
brain
you have-
tissue
if you,
to
if
tear
you just
itself
have
apart.
one dish.
No, never,
One dish.
never. You never come back from that.
That's not true.
Would you?
Yes.
You sound like you would do it for free.
I absolutely would, given the opportunity.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Anyway,
Next.
The Abrams brothers.
it's a country music.
That's country music.
I'm gonna guess country. Well, I don't know.
I would love for it to be cannibals, but no.
Well, I want you to get it wrong so I can win, but I also love you and I want you to know it's a real band.
Is it really?
Stop ruining
Are you
the
thinking
quiz.
of the Allman Brothers Band?
No, I'm thinking of both.
Boys.
Not the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Soggy Bottom Boys. It's a band.
I'm gonna say Cannibal.
Christopher,
You're such a
we're
punk.
trying to look out for you, man.
Okay, so I've got 2 for country music and 1 for cannibal.
Yeah.
The country music wins out.
Okay.
They are a Canadian country music duo.
Canadian.
Also, if you want to be on top, maybe don't give the answer away. Because I was like 75-25 there, and you're like, ha, it's country music. Then I was like, okay, it's country music.
All right, fine. I'll have a poker face.
That's right, you
Jeez,
better
I won't
poker
have
face.
any fun.
I'll reign supreme. Like my pizzas, I like it supreme.
Stop. Oh, Lord. What's happening out there?
Legal dog fights.
Oh.
Oh, no. Okay, Izzy. Sorry. Keep going.
I was actually just trying to think of what would cause all those dogs to go bananas.
The tall man.
The Tallman?
Tall man.
The Tallman Brothers Band. Nice.
All right. So here's a good one. Maury Finney.
Maury Finney.
Is that the director of Cannibal Holocaust?
I don't know. Is it?
Finney.
That's my guess.
Music.
I'm gonna guess music.
You're gonna say music?
Yeah.
And Crody
Music.
Brackenalley?
Yeah.
You said music? What are you gonna say, Ashley?
Maybe I'm wrong, but it does sound like the director of Cannibal Holocaust. Oh, sorry. I didn't say that in the mic. I don't know. I'll say Cannibal.
You're gonna say Cannibal? All right. So this is a fun one. He's a country music saxophonist known for the
What?
song "Coconut Grove."
Coconut Grove.
Coconut Grove.
Country music saxophonist. Interesting.
That nod.
That's a
Wow.
twist.
Okay. All right, man. Okay.
Where's he from?
I think he
he
was from
from?
like Wisconsin or something.
They're like, we love your jazz. And he's like, it's country music. Thank
Well,
you.
it's
Okay,
weird because I
sure.
listened to the song and it sounded it kind of had a little bit of like the country steel guitar,
Yeah.
but it ended up sounding more like kind of like that Hawaiian music. But I guess it would be like that weird blend of like Hawaiian and country music that leads you to like the Jimmy Buffett realm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of what it sounded like.
Leisure rock.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he's in the Country Music Hall of Fame or something.
All right. Cool.
So I mean, he's classified under the country banner.
He's put in the work.
Yeah, as far as I know. Here's another one. Joachim Kroll.
That, my
Joachim?
friend, could be either. But I know my vote.
Joachim. I'm gonna say. Well, man, I'm gonna say if he were a country singer, he would have changed his name to something else.
Heck no. That's
Cannibal.
country.
I'm gonna guess Cannibal.
Cannibal.
It's country music.
Okay, so I've got 1 for country music and 2 for Cannibal.
Cannibal.
All right. Joachim Georg Kroll was a German serial killer, child molester, and cannibal.
Oh.
Known as the Raw Cannibal, the Raw Hunter, and the Duisburg Man-Eater, or Duisburger Menschenfresser.
What?
Duisburg, yeah.
He's convicted of 8 murders, but confessed to a total of 14, which he committed in and around the Ruhr metropolitan region.
This guy was actually a serial killer, right? He didn't, was there any controversy about him being led on by his therapists? Because there is, where is this again?
This was in Ruhr, Germany.
Germany. Was it Germany that guy started getting a lot of attention from his therapist for lying about watching his parents, like, kill one of his siblings and then him killing other kids?
I didn't see anything whenever I opened the file, but let me go and take a quick looky.
I might be, because there's a documentary about it. A couple documentaries. I don't know. You don't have to look it up, man.
I mean, I've got it open right here, so it's no reason for me not to take a look.
I don't think he ate anyone, or I don't think he confessed to eating anyone though.
I feel like he talked about eating a boy's heart. But maybe that was like the story that he confabulated with his mom giving. This is graphic, by the way, if you want to fast forward. But like his mom had a miscarriage, and then like the baby came out, and then his parents ate it. But that was just like a lie that he made up to get more attention from his therapists.
To get more medication.
Yeah, to get more medication to get high.
Yeah.
No, this one says nothing about a therapist
Okay.
or any kind of like drug use. It's mostly just like murder, rape, and like eating bits of people.
Did he say why he became a cannibal or how?
There's not too much on the page that I'm looking at, but I'm sure you could probably find something.
Okay, so we were right. Alright, okay, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
And by the way, I will tally all this up later.
Oh, I know you will. I know you will. That's why I'm winning.
Here's a good one. Matthew Tan.
Matthew Tan.
Matthew Tan.
That's Cannibal.
That sounds like a country singer.
Country singer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's not. It's Cannibal.
So you're saying Cannibal,
It's
and
Cannibal.
I've got 2 for country singer?
Yeah.
Matthew Tan was in the band Matt and the Mandarins. It was a country music band out of Singapore.
Whoa.
What?
Yep.
That's cute.
And he had the popular song Singapore Cowboy.
Oh,
And he was
nice.
active through the 60s and 70s.
Wow.
I want to hear that song now.
It's
Yeah,
really
I
pretty,
also want to hear that
it's
song.
pretty catchy, actually.
Okay. Cool.
Like, you wouldn't think he would sound as country as he does,
Yeah.
being a native of, like, Singapore. But, yeah.
All right.
No, I saw Hey Arnold. I know how Asian men can sing country.
Okay. Here's another one.
Okay.
Issei Sagawa.
That is a cannibal.
It's definitely a country star.
Okay.
No, just kidding. He's a cannibal.
No, she already said country star.
I'll say Cannibal.
That was her vote.
He's the guy that
Don't.
he's no. Okay, so he's the guy that killed his study partner and then ate her to become like her. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
So the thing I have
It's a
doesn't
cat
say
purring,
anything
by the
about
way.
why he killed the lady.
Yeah.
Just that he murdered him, and then he was convicted in, I guess, Germany or wherever he was.
Wait, was it France?
It was France.
Yes.
And then they wouldn't release any of the evidence, so they couldn't, I guess, file charges for him for his crimes in Japan.
Because he ate
So
it.
he's out free
Yeah.
currently.
Wow.
Like, go to book and stuff.
He's like famous.
Yeah.
Like
He's the one
people-
that didn't he write a book about it or something? Like
Yeah.
he.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
and he like did TV appearances, movie appearances, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, My Favorite Murder went over it.
Yeah.
It's pretty messed up.
I'm loving those neighbor dogs.
Yep.
Here's a fun one. Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker. That sounds like a country star.
That's definitely a cannibal.
Definitely a country star.
Country star is my vote.
It's country star.
You're all going country star?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going country.
Rucker.
Yeah, actually, this is the guy from Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So he quit Hootie and did a country music
Nice.
career.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, man, that's about it. He only wants to be with you. Okay, this is the last one.
Okay.
Stephen Griffith.
Stephen Griffith. Griffith sounds a little country. I think I'm gonna say Cannibal.
Go on, Ashley.
Stephen.
What's your vote?
I'm going to say country star.
And I'm going to say cannibal.
So I've got two cannibals and a country star.
Sounds like a great show.
In April and May of 2010, the PhD student Stephen Griffith from Bradford, England, killed and ate 3 prostitutes, becoming known as the Crossbow Cannibal.
Sex workers.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. Wait, so where?
In Bradford, England.
Bradford, England. And what year again? It was the 2000s?
2010.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Presumably he murdered them with a crossbow. And then
Goodness sakes.
No.
Ugh.
That's horrible.
Yep.
And that's why I can't talk about murder. That's rough, man.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Well.
if you're going to be eating people, it's going to be pretty hardcore.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. There's no easy way about going doing it.
I guess following the conclusion of this podcast, I will be tallying up what everyone
Right.
said,
Nice.
and we'll see if anyone was able to pull ahead of anyone else. 'Cause for the most part, y'all were all pretty much in accordance. There wasn't a lot of
Yeah.
dissonance.
Oh, there
Except for
was.
that first one or second one.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll have to see what the scores bring us. Thank you, Izzy, for that quiz. That was awesome.
Yeah, if it seemed like it was a lot of softballs, it's because I threw it together about 2 or 3 hours ago.
No, it didn't seem easy. I think we just know more
A lot
cannibals
about- yeah.
than the
We
average
shouldn't
person.
know
I-
what we know, but
yeah.
we know.
I was trying to find other than just like generic white people.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like I could only find 2 between the country stars and the cannibals. It was like not a lot of like Asian.
I gotta say, that was a curveball with the Philippines guy, though.
Wait, which Philippines guy?
The
talking about-
country. Or
Oh, yeah.
Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I gotta say, the song for it being a country song from like the 60s about a guy in Singapore who wants to be a cowboy. It's pretty catchy.
It's pretty one-to-one.
It's pretty all right.
I'd listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Coconut Grove, also pretty catchy.
Sounds like a Bikini Bottom or something like that. Coconut Grove,
Yeah.
the topless beach or something. Something weird like that. Something weird. Well,
Oh yeah, I guess I could bring up some of the stuff I remember from the last episode that I said I could.
yeah,
explain a
for
little
sure.
bit of.
Give us a corrections corner, Izzy.
So I wouldn't say corrections,
Okay.
but like I remember when it came to the Iceman, you're like, oh wow, he's 45. That seems really old. But the way life expectancy is calculated is they take into account like all the people who died in that generation. So whenever you have like 70% of the kids dying, that brings the average down. So I mean, if you made it to adulthood, there's a good chance you'd live to a pretty ripe age.
Yeah.
Actually, really interesting.
Ah.
So
okay.
I mean, that's why whenever they say like, oh, the expected life expectancy for these people was like 30, it's because like out of the 10 kids they had, 8 of them were dying.
Yeah.
But then once you made it to adulthood, you would live.
I
makes
saw
sense.
something. Oh man, what was it specifically? I think it was talking about like our genetic makeup. Like it was something I was watching on DNA, and they were talking about how science in general is a lot like that. Or yeah, no, it was classifying animals and human beings, you know, in a sense, in the same like families and stuff. They're like, really, we say that and we do that in science, but it's actually really stupid because like science is all about like categorizing things to make it easier, but it's not making it easier because those categories aren't even necessarily true. They're just there to be like, well, I mean, it kind of looks like this and seems like this, so that's the case. Like, everything's all, like, mediums and rounding up and, like, stuff like that. So that makes a whole lot of sense that,
Yeah, pretty much everything's up for review.
I mean, and that really makes sense with, like, the Dark Ages or whatever, with, like, the bubonic plague and everything, because they were just like, oh, life expectancy was, like, 13. And it's like, well, yeah, because everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, and then back to manatees and dugongs. That's just convergent evolution, where like they were separated geographically, but somehow the same similar critter decided to move from land to the water, and they kind of developed the same stuff. It happens all over the place, like with anteaters and aardvarks and
Alligators and crocodiles.
yeah, stuff like that.
Huh.
I mean, it's just they all kind of, since they all, I guess, subsist on the same kind of stuff, they all developed to be similar, but they're still technically like different critters.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
The more you know.
Yeah, and finally, my name is Spanish.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I believe the name originates in the Basque region of Spain.
Okay.
Which is where all like, the crazy,
Okay.
the crazy folks are on the border between Spain and
Good wine.
Interesting.
yeah. But then if you follow it down to where it gets to me, it's pretty much a mix of like Spanish settlers and just the regular, I guess, blend of Mexican people from South Texas.
Yeah.
And then also on the other half is white people going all the way up to Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Ireland.
Yeah. So,
And you do have red in your beard, right? I was right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Great. You can shut it down now.
I don't know where the white side of my family's from.
Probably super European because they have a very strong, like, ancestral respect.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of German settlers in Mexico.
Yeah.
So it could be all the white
Yeah.
came from there, but followed the Mexican side of you.
My
I don't know.
mom's maiden name is King.
So his grandma's name is Ima? Is that right?
Iris?
Iris. No, it's not. It is Iris. Oh, that's right. So what was that license plate that she it was like
Her license plate is...
I am a king. It's like I'm a king.
I think it's just I'm King.
Oh, it is
I'm
I'm king. It
king.
stands for her first name, her middle name, and her So I think we had dinner once and like she put something in her trunk and I saw that license plate and I was like, "What? It just says I'm king." Grandmother, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, the name really narrows it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
The ghosts, they're talking again.
Are you sure they're ghosts and not goats?
Yeah, a bunch of goat butts in there. Cool.
Well, this has been a lovely evening, guys.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I guess tune in for the future spinoff podcast.
Thanks for joining us, you guys. Please email your paranormal stories, no matter what they're about. They could be about what you saw when you were sleeping,
Ghost fart.
ghost farts,
Yep.
ghost touches, ghost animals.
You experienced a ghost fart last night.
I did.
Yeah, you were sitting down. You're like,
You
"What
were?
is that rank, like sulfur smell?"
I was really upset.
And we were like, "What are you talking?
Yeah.
There's nothing here."
Yeah, he was like, "What is that?" And we're sitting 2 feet away, and we were like,
If I'd have taken a
"Did you
picture,
fart?"
you would have seen a specter's butthole
Yep.
just right on my nose.
The gateway
It's
directly to the other side.
Oh, no.
It's Teddy Roosevelt!
Teddy Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt.
I am Teddy Roosevelt!
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yep.
We're that kind of podcast
now.
Jinx. And then they form into they transition to their final form. Anyway, yeah, so anything paranormal, my dude, like aliens, like any kind of cryptozoology, like the story that we had last week about the winged creature that like crawled all over
Oh,
that
man.
girl's family's house.
Or you know what else that you could write in? Because Izzy always gives us great input. So if you have any theories or specific things that, maybe it's not a story that happened to you, but you have like something you want to talk about or you want mentioned. If you want your own little story thrown in there, hey, write us. We'll definitely put it on there.
Yeah, for sure, let's do it. email us at anywayitshaunted@gmail.com, or you can message us on Instagram at anywayitshaunted, or on Facebook at the So Anyway It's Haunted fan club and forum. That's where you can find all the pickies, all the pics of the ghosts that we think. Yeah, what else? We are on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Spotify, on YouTube. Yeah, dude, catch up with us and let's talk about spooky stuff. We'd love to share your experiences, or talk about whatever spooky stuff you want to talk about.
Yeah, I want to hear more creepy dreams.
Creepy dreams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that one dream where my mom was dreaming that there was a demon standing over me, and then in real life she woke up to me screaming and running across the house.
Yeah.
You can find that in one of our episodes. I think it might be episode 5, possibly.
Maybe.
Anyway, so yeah, you want to hear creepy stuff?
I could go dig up the old dream journal, though I attempted to throw it away and ripped out at least one of them at one point. So.
And then it came back perfectly in perfect condition. Anyway, yeah, so thanks for joining us, you guys. Follow us, subscribe. Ugh, I'm not going to be like one of those. Look, thanks for listening. We love you guys.
Hashtag loot box. So anyway, it's loot box.
Promo code, so anyway. No, just kidding. Yeah, we're going to sell out eventually, but just so we can give you guys cool content and cool merch. So
Yeah.
We're gonna look back on this on episode 200 and say, "Remember when we had spines?" Oh.
Anyway, okay. Thanks, Izzy. We will see you after I stop recording and we watch a movie, probably.
Sounds fun.
See you then.
Yeah.
Bye,
I am
guys.
Teddy Roosevelt. I am Teddy Roosevelt. I am Teddy Roosevelt.
Bully!
What's that smell?
It's gunpowder.